Hey everybody, SwirlTheCat here, and today I'm going to be giving you a MetalGarurumon X Antibody deck profile. I recently used this deck at my locals and I talked with it, and I also thought the deck was a lot of fun, and so I wanted to show you guys my build. So let's get right into it. I'll start off with the Digi Eggs. First, I just run 4 copies of Sunamon. This one is from BT5. And he has an inherited effect on your turn while this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name. It gets plus 1000 DP. This is very good on your turn when you have Garurumon, so you can just hit for bigger numbers. That's it for the eggs. You guys can run whatever you want for the 5th egg, but I just like to run 4 copies of Sunamon. Now let's move on to the level 3s. All the level 3s in this deck are Gabumon, so expect just a lot of variations of Gabumon through all of the sets that we've had so far. The first one I'm going to show you guys is the Gabumon from BT5. This one just has an on-play effect to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with Garurumon in its name and 1 Digimon with Omnimon in its name among them to your hand, then the rest go on the bottom of the deck in any order. I just really like this card because it's a searcher and it searches for our pieces for later in the game, like MetalGarurumon X Antibody or just MetalGarurumon and WereGarurumons, so we can get just our pieces to win the game. Just 2 copies though, because we do run 4 copies of the X Antibody version that I'll show you guys in a bit that has a similar effect. Next up is this Gabumon from set 1. He just has an on-play skill to draw a card. It doesn't seem like much, but you really benefit from having a large hand with this deck, so just 3 copies of that Gabumon. And then next, I run 4 copies of the Structure Deck Gabumon that has the inherited effect on all turns. While you have 8 or more cards in your hand, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Kind of like the last Gabumon, it doesn't seem like a really crazy effect, but it really matters later in the game. Your Digimon can hit larger numbers, and it's on all turns. It's not just on your turn, so it makes a big difference, especially for your WereGarurumons if someone is trying to use that one option card that everyone is running in Mastamon that gives your Digimon minus 6000. If your WereGarurumon's at like 7, that's not going to work on it. So it comes in handy, just buffing up your guys. Next up is the Gabumon X Antibody I was talking about a little bit ago. So this, like I said, has a similar effect to the BT5 Gabumon. It's a searcher. You can Digivolve 0 from Gabumon, and on play or when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, and 1 X Antibody among them to your hand. Then the rest go on the bottom. The X Antibody is referring to the option card, not just any Digimon with X Antibody and its traits, so just remember that if you're running this card, because the wording can be kind of confusing there. That was it for the level 3s, so let's move on to the level 4s. I am running 4 copies of the promo Garurumon. This came out like so long ago, right when the game was kind of beginning. It even has the little promo number 7, but anyways, this is a great card to run in the deck. It just has an inherited effect when attacking. If the Digimon has Garurumon in its name, draw a card. And like I said earlier, this deck really benefits off of you having a huge hand. Next up, I'm running the 2 copies of the Garurumon from set 5. I'm only running 2 copies of this card because its effect is kind of specific. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has Gabumon in its Digivolution cards, gain a memory, and its inherited effect is on all turns while this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, it gets plus 1000 DP. So, this card is very good, but I'm only running 2 of it because it cannot get its main effect, its When Digivolving effect off, if you put it on top of Gabumon X Antibody, it has to be Gabumon, just Gabumon, which works for all the other Gabumons, but just not the X Antibody version. So also remember that if you are running this card in your deck. Here is the last level 4 I'm running. Garurumon X Antibody. Probably not hard to guess that I was going to run this. This card is very, very good. Digivolve 0 from Garurumon. And then Inherited Effect on all turns. When this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name and would be deleted in battle, you can trash 2 cards of the same level and this Digimon's Dissolution cards to prevent that deletion. This effect counts for any levels, so if you have this card at another level 4 or 2 level 3s, this effect will still apply. Just remember, it just counts for deleted in battle, so not deleted by card effects, so that's a rule too. That was it for the level 4s, so I'm going to show you guys the level 5s. Just like I was running the old promo Garurumon, I am running the old promo WereGarurumon that came out of the same pack. This card is insane and just very, very good. This is the card you want to draw when you are playing a game because you are going to get off multiple attacks with this card. So when attacking, once returned, if this Digimon has Garurumon Dissolution card, unsuspend this Digimon. Then Inherited Effect, your turn, while you have 8 or more cards in your hand, this Digimon gains Security Attack +1. So 2 really great effects. In a perfect world, you would just swing with him, use his effect to stand him, swing again, and then you would Digivolve into the X Antibody WereGarurumon that I will show you right now. So, like I said, I run 4 copies of the WereGarurumon X Antibody. It is 0 on top of WereGarurumon, and he has the When Digivolving skill, unsuspend this Digimon. Then, if WereGarurumon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Dissolution cards, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand. So, after you attack with your WereGarurumon, you can Digivolve with 0 cost into WereGarurumon X Antibody and attack again, so I think you can get off a total of 3 attacks just right there with the 2 types of Garurumons. That was it for the level 5, so now I'm going to show you guys what level 6s I'm running. I'm running 3 copies of the MetalGarurumon from the first extra booster where all the cards looked classic like this. This card is great because it's going to cost you very little memory to Digivolve into. So when Digivolving, gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in your hand. When attacking, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand and a Tamer in play, return one of your opponent's Digimon with an on-deletion effect to the bottom of the owner's deck and trash all the Dissolution cards of that Digimon. So, I'm going to be honest, I really never get off the when attacking effect. I pretty much solely run this card for its when Digivolving skill to gain memory for every 4 cards in my hand, because I can just drop this on top of WereGarurumon for 4, and then if I have like 8 cards in my hand, you're going to gain 2 memory back, and he's only going to really cost you 2 memory to Digivolve into, and that is going to just give you more memory to get into the MetalGarurumon X Antibody quicker. Only 3 copies of that one though, and then here is what I was talking about, the MetalGarurumon X Antibody. This card is just super cool, I love it so much. So it just costs 1 on top of MetalGarurumon, then when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon and it gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. And on your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, if MetalGarurumon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Dissolution cards, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to your owner's hands. So, just a very good blocker ability. And our cards that are in this deck, like the Gabumon and the Garurumon that buff him up, will it can make him into a 14k base if you have the right Dissolution cards, so that's like a very heavy blocker. And then the returning bouncing effect to return your opponent's lowest level Digimon to their hand is also really annoying, so It's just a very good card all around, and if you can digivolve into this MetalGarurumon and this one in the same turn, it's just a super good combo right there. Now for the last Digimon cards that I'm running in this deck are just two of the Blitz Omnimon. This card is insane because it can just win you some games depending where you are in the match. You can literally just be like Omnimon for game because he has Blitz, and he unsuspends himself, and all turns if an opponent's effect would delete this Digimon or return it to its owner's hand or deck, you can prevent it from leaving play by trashing level 6 Digimon this card's Digillusion cards. So if you have the X Antibody underneath it and the MetalGarurumon underneath it, that's like two protections right there for your Omnimon. So he will not leave the field easily, but just 2 copies of him. That was it for all of the Digimon cards. So let me show you guys what tamers I'm running. I'm running 2 copies of Cool Boy. So he just has the on-play skill to reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with X Antibody and its traits, and 1 option card with X Antibody and its traits among them to your hand, and place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. On your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a same level Digimon with X Antibody and its traits, you may suspend this tamer to gain a memory and draw a card. And his security effect is just like all the other tamers, play it from your security without paying its memory cost. So this card is just really great, especially if you play it early game, because you can use it later in the game to suspend him to gain a memory and draw. And it's also good because it adds the option card or just an X Antibody trait to your hand. Next up, I'm running 2 copies of this newer tamer. It came out in set 9, Matt and Sora. So at the start of your main phase, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, gain a memory. If your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, you gain a memory. On your turn, when one of your blue or red Digimon becomes unsuspended, you may suspend this tamer to return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand, and the same security effect as all the other tamers to play it without paying its memory cost. So I really like this tamer because it can get rid of the weaker levels that your opponent has on field, and you're most likely going to have 8 or more cards in your hand already, so that's just an extra memory for you to work with. I really like this tamer from the new set. So here is the last tamer I'm running. Just 2 copies of Nokia. On play, you may play 1 Agumon or Gabumon from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then on main phase, when digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand with Garurumon, Omnimon, or Greymon, you can suspend her to reduce the memory cost of the Digillusion by 1. Kind of like Cool Boy, this is a good card to play early game because you can just get out a Gabumon, and later in the game it'll make all of your Digillusions cheaper than they actually are. So just a really solid card to run in this deck. Now that was it for the tamers. Let me show you guys what options I'm running. I'm running 2 copies of the X Antibody option. While you have Digimon in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. The security ability is just to gain a memory and add it to your hand. Then on the main phase, place this card underneath one of your Digimon without X Antibody in its traits at the bottom of its Digillusion card. Then the inherited effect is on all turns, effects can't trash X Antibody in this Digimon's Digillusion cards, and when attacking, this Digimon can digivolve into a Digimon card with X Antibody in its traits in your hand for its Digillusion cost. So we're mostly just using this for the when attacking effect, because you can just go in and attack with your MetalGarurumon, for example, and while you're attacking, you can digivolve into the MetalGarurumon X Antibody right there. So just 2 copies of that. And then 2 copies of Blue Memory Boost. On your main phase, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 blue Digimon card among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, and place this in the battle area. And then it has the delay ability to trash it to gain 2 memory. The security effect is just to place it in your battle area. Here is the last option card I'm running, Ice Wall. This card is too good to not run because it can save you some games If your opponent just has a ton of Digimon on the field, you can just drop this for 1, and hopefully they don't have a tamer that sets them to 3, and you know, it can stop them from getting all the attacks off because it's just going to put the memory on your side of the field. So on your main phase, all of your opponent's Digimon gain when attacking lose 2 memory until the end of their next turn, and the security ability to gain 2 memory. So that was it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and let me know how you guys are building MetalGarurumon. He is definitely one of my favorite Digimon in the whole series. So until next time, I will see you all later.